Hi everybody, this is Chuck Hughes, and welcome to the second Wealth Creation Alliance training video, recorded at my home on the beautiful central coast of California. Before we begin, I'd like to encourage you to go back and watch video 1 if you haven't seen it yet. Don't do it right now, but follow the link on this webpage after you watch this video and check it out. We have a lot to cover in this second training session, but before we start, I want to remind you that even if you're a beginning trader or don't have much money, what you're about to learn can work for you. The secret weapon revealed in this 3-part training series enabled me to start with a $4,600 trading account and make over $460,000 in actual profits my first 2 years of trading. It helped make me a 7-time winner of the same live trading competition that made Larry Williams famous back in the 1980s. In fact, I've taken first place more times than anyone else in the 30-year history of this prestigious international trading championship. This year, I'm currently in second place with a 120% return. And the powerful secret weapon I'm giving you in this 3-part series is the main reason my advisory services have made my subscribers double and triple digit returns every single year for more than a dozen straight years, even during some of the most difficult market conditions in history. For example, during the 2000 through 2002 tech wreck, when the S&P 500 index plummeted from 1,500 to 800, my advisory uncovered over $1.2 million in profits. In 2008, during the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, my advisory found over $470,000 in profits. And during the 2011 market roller coaster, when the S&P 500 index actually started at 1257 and finished at 1257, my advisory services racked up over $720,000 in live trading profits. I could go on, but I think you get the idea. Right about now, you're probably wondering, why in the world would Chuck reveal such valuable information for free? And the answer is simple. This 3-part training series is my way of introducing you to the Wealth Creation Alliance. The Wealth Creation Alliance is a synergistic coalition of traders, which I founded in 2008. Right after the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. The Wealth Creation Alliance is rooted in the universal secret to success, proclaimed by mega-rich men and women the world over. And I'm happy to say that the Wealth Creation Alliance is empowering members to achieve wealth beyond their wildest dreams and have fun doing it. In video 1, I showed you actual copies of 2 of the 3 Wealth Creation Alliance portfolios. The WCA stock dividend portfolio with 20 stocks has over $177,000 in profits and an average return of 109%. And the WCA stock option portfolio with $226,000 in profits and an average return of 214%. And a WCA member told you how he made over $1.5 million in actual profits following the strategy used in the 3rd WCA portfolio. Later in this video, a WCA member will tell you in their own words how the Alliance has changed their life, and you'll even get a chance to win a free membership. And in exchange for this opportunity to introduce you to the Wealth Creation Alliance, I'm giving you the greatest secret weapon of my entire trading career, Prime Trade Select, as a free gift. There's nothing to sign up for and no strings attached. Just watch, learn, and prosper. In video 1, we talked about how Prime Trade Select is firmly grounded in the laws of physics and therefore simply cannot fail. When the buying pressure exceeds the selling pressure, the price is going to go up. There is no two ways about it. In video 1, you also learned that Prime Trade Select uses a 3-step process to identify the best of the best stocks and ETFs, which are showing the greatest profit potential. And we explored step 1 in detail. I showed you how to turn simple price charts available for free on the internet into powerful profit-seeking weapons. You learned how to confidently buy stocks and call options when the buying pressure is greater than the selling pressure. You learned how to seek huge profits from taking short positions when the selling pressure exceeds the buying pressure. And you saw how Prime Trade Select works just as well in down markets, allowing you to turn wealth destruction into wealth creation. In this video, we'll delve into step 2 of Prime Trade Select, which is trend confirmation. We use several indicators to confirm the price trend and measure the extent of the buying or selling pressure. The first indicator is on-balance volume. On-balance volume provides a running total of volume and shows whether that volume is flowing into or out of a given stock. In other words, on-balance volume gives you an accurate measurement of buying pressure versus selling pressure. When a stock closes up, the volume for that day is added to the on-balance volume line. And when a stock closes down, the volume for that day is subtracted from the on-balance volume line. So a cumulative total of these additions and subtractions form the OBV line. Here's an example of what it looks like. This is the on-balance volume line in the lower window of this chart for Riverbed Technology stock. Generally, we just want to see this line sloping up to confirm a price uptrend in the daily price movement. It's a great way to confirm a price uptrend. On-balance volume can be downloaded for free from stockcharts.com. Adding on-balance volume to your existing 50-100-day EMA chart is easy. Just scroll down to Indicators in the parameter window below the chart, and then select On-Balance Volume from the drop-down menu. Here's a daily price chart for Apple with the 50-day and 100-day EMA and the on-balance volume line. In this price chart, the 50-day EMA is above the 100-day EMA, indicating a buy signal. And we also have an upsloping OBV line which confirms the price uptrend. Now, the numerical value of the OBV line is not that important. What we're looking for is an upward slope to confirm the price uptrend. An upsloping OBV line indicates that the volume is heavier on days that a stock closes up, and volume is lighter on a day that a stock closes down. This indicates that the buying pressure is exceeding the selling pressure, and this volume can help sustain the price uptrend. On the other hand, if the OBV line starts to slope down, then you'd know a shift in buying pressure was underway. Even if the price trend had not yet turned, there'd be good reason to believe the smart money was starting to exit their positions, and you and your smart money should probably exit too. The best way to stay on the right side of the market is to simply follow the money. And that's what the first 2 steps of Prime Trade Select are all about. This next price chart is for Apple stock. Prime Trade Select Condition 1. The 50-day EMA is above the 100-day EMA. Check. Prime Trade Select Condition 2. The on-balance volume line is sloping up. Check. And as you can see, right now the Apple option, which is highlighted, is showing a profit of 1,670% in the Wealth Creation Alliance option portfolio. Let's take a minute to study this portfolio a bit more closely. There are currently 14 trades, all of which are profitable. There are currently over $226,000 in open trade profits, and the average return is 214%, all because we know how to follow the money. Of course, following the money is not a new concept, but very few traders have a specific set of checks and balances, like Prime Trade Select, to keep them on the right path. And I think it's because I do have Prime Trade Select and they don't, that I've won the International Trading Championship more times than anyone else, 7 times in all, with annual returns as high as 315%. And Prime Trade Select has produced over $6.4 million in live trading profits in the past 12 years, without a single losing year. There is nothing hypothetical about it. This isn't about what might happen. This is what did happen and what is continuing to happen. No one has even come close to my winning record, but if you use Prime Trade Select to follow the money, then maybe one day you could even top my record and bank millions upon millions of dollars of profits in the process. Another trend confirmation indicator I like to use is the new 52-week high list. This is actually a great place to start your trade selection. In my experience, I've found that stocks that are making a new 52-week high tend to stay in a price uptrend. If a stock is making a new 52-week high, that's a good indication that it's performing very strong. It's very easy to download the new 52-week high list. Just log on to barchart.com, click on the Stocks tab at the top, and then select the 52-week highs from the Market Pulse menu in the left column. I also like to look at the price level of a stock. I found that stocks that are trading in the 70 to 80 point range usually continue their upward price movement until they reach 100. And if they trade up to 100, then they usually trade up to the 120 to 130 point range or even higher. So this is another way to confirm the price trend. Now, very few stocks ever get up to these higher price levels. So if they're trading at these higher price levels, that's also a confirmation that the stock is most likely to continue the upward price movement. So this is yet another way to confirm the price trend and discover the stocks with the best profit potential. In a minute, I'll tell you how you can take Prime Trade Select even one step further and supercharge your potential returns to monumental proportions. But first, as you'll recall, the reason I'm sharing these secrets with you is because I want an opportunity to tell you about the Wealth Creation Alliance. So before I give you the final secret for this session, I want you to hear what becoming a WCA member has meant to Giles and his family, told in his own words. Please welcome Giles K. from Sarasota, Florida.
I used to fly for the Air Force, but that kept me away from home too much. So now I fly domestic and Caribbean routes on the Airbus. I like flying and I enjoy my job, but the airline I work for has gone through 2 bankruptcies and consequently they terminated my pension. I literally lost over $1.5 million in retirement funds. And in just 8 years, I'll be facing mandatory retirement. So you could see why I felt so lucky to discover Chuck Hughes. With Chuck's 7-time world championship successes under his belt and everything else that he does, he seemed to be offering the safest way for me to do some investing with a minimum amount of risk and gain a sustainable income. And it really has worked out very well. I made about 90% return my first year. That was 2010. And I'm getting better all the time. I could just take Chuck's trade recommendations and go on my merry way, but I go along with the old expression, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for the day. If you teach the man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. I want Chuck to be around forever, and I want his son to be as zealous as his father, but if something were to happen tomorrow, I want to know that I have the foundation to continue. And that's why I try to do as much analysis on my own as I can. When Chuck makes a recommendation, I try to understand how he found it and why he's making the recommendation. I don't blindly take everything he does and just plug it in. I could, but I don't. With the Wealth Creation Alliance, you get all the tools, training, and support you need to understand what's going on. And it makes me feel more secure to know I could use that knowledge in the future to make a good, steady income no matter what happens. So now my retirement fund is growing. I've been able to give more money to my church and other charitable organizations, and I'm encouraging my 25-year-old daughter to get involved so she can make her lifestyle easier and happier for herself and my grandchildren. I guess you could say that the Wealth Creation Alliance is creating somewhat of a legacy, and that makes my wife and me both very happy.
I agree with Giles. What could be more gratifying than knowing that you can provide a carefree lifestyle for yourself and spouse, plus a legacy of wealth and happiness for your children and grandchildren for generations to come? With the Wealth Creation Alliance, all things are possible. Why not see for yourself? You can't join just yet, but a limited WCA enrollment period is coming soon, and before it gets here, I'll fill you in on the details. But there is one thing you can do right now. You can follow the link embedded below this video screen and enter into the drawing for a free WCA membership. And when you do, you'll become an instant winner, because just for entering, you'll receive Extra Money Made Easy, an eye-opening report that explains how easy it can be to sell option premium and collect a steady stream of cash under any market conditions. Over the past 3 years alone, I collected over $5.7 million in actual cash income from selling option premium, and this 48-page report explains exactly how I did it, and more important, shows how you can do it too. This is really valuable information, so be sure to follow the link below to get your free report. And now, as promised, I'm going to tell you a simple way to take Prime Trade Select one step further to diversify your portfolio and supercharge your potential returns. Much of a stock's price movement can be traced to the industry that it's in. So focusing on the top performing industry groups provides a constant tailwind, to put it in flying terms, and supercharge your profits. Investors Business Daily is a good place to find the relative performance of various industries. IBD ranks each industry on relative strength, and I like to pick out one stock out of each of the strongest industries as a way to diversify my portfolio. Now, IBD isn't a free source like the other resources I've told you about today, but it is available in most public libraries, and referring to it every week or so should be enough. Just make a list of leading industries and then let Prime Trade Select help you pick a powerhouse portfolio. Let's take another look at Apple and see how it measures up using the full spectrum of our first two Prime Trade Select criteria. First, as we learned in video 1, we determined that the buying pressure was strong and the price trend was up. Next, we confirmed the strength of the cash flow into Apple stock using on-balance volume, as we learned in this video. And for further confirmation, we saw that Apple stock was making a series of new 52-week highs. It's trading above that $70 price level, and it's also in a leading industry group, retail. As you can see, the price of Apple stock has soared. The only question now is, when and how should I have gotten in? Or, more important, what's the best way to time my entry into the next big profit opportunity? And you'll find the answer to this critical question in session 3. In the next video, we'll explore the third and final step to my Prime Trade Select process. You'll discover a clear-cut yet powerful technique for getting into the market at the optimum moment. You'll learn a simple way to limit your risk, and you'll see how easy it can be to capture the greatest amount of profit. I'll also introduce you to 4 profit-boosting strategies that have empowered Wealth Creation Alliance members like Ann to go from beginner to successful trader overnight.
I knew I had to start investing, but was unsure how to go about it. Everything out there seemed complicated and confusing. Then a friend introduced me to your strategies. The strategies are easy to use, and best of all, they really work. Just look at my portfolio statement. All 13 of the trades are winners. I originally started with $16,300, and now my account has grown to more than $62,000. I currently have $35,225 in profit and an average return of 127% over the past 5 weeks. Not bad for a beginner. Thanks to you, Chuck, I'm on my way.
Thanks for watching the second training video. I hope you enjoyed it. And in video 3, you'll learn how to precision time your entry for higher profits. and we'll talk about using options to seek triple-digit returns. For now, this is Chuck Hughes, wishing you the best in investing success.